Hello, Mr. Spinner. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. Welcome back to Huntingburg.
Thank you. It's beautiful outside today.
Absolutely. It's always beautiful in Huntingburg.
It is very nice. So today we want to talk about the Main Street Economic Development. Can you tell us what's going on with that?
Well, yes, I would like to tell you about that. We had a very good public meeting a couple of weeks back. I believe it was the last day of January, where we had a public input session where we asked the question, what would the Main Street corridor look like 10 years from now if we could do anything that we wanted to do with it? The process that we started there is very, very similar to what we did 4 years ago when we started preparing for our Stellar Communities application. We did a lot of community input, a lot of gathering of information that allowed us to identify the issues, the projects that would be a priority for our community going forward through a Stellar application process. As you know, we're about halfway through that process right now. We received the Stellar designation in 2014. We're at early 2017. Stellar designation ends at 2018. Knowing that it takes a while to develop those plans, the Redevelopment Commission and the City Council agreed to contract a firm to begin looking at what we feel will be our next priority outside the Stellar area, and that is the Main Street corridor. US 231 is the busiest street in town. There are opportunities and issues along that corridor that we wanted to address. So what we did 2 weeks ago was we started that process by holding a public listening session where citizens were asked to come, and basically any idea was a good idea. You know, it was what are the things we would dream about? If we would dream about what Main Street would be, what would that be? What are the things that are of most concern? What are the great opportunities we have along the corridor? It is the busiest street in town. It is, for some who come through our communities, the only view they have of our town. You know, 231 is, you know, a corridor that everybody travels. So the thought was, what can we do? So at that meeting, I was very, very excited about having 47 people came on a Tuesday night in January to have this discussion. And those who are facilitating the meetings for us are going to come back and report their findings from that meeting at our council meeting in 2 weeks. But they mentioned at the beginning of that session, and I mentioned as well, 47 people on a Tuesday night for a public meeting is a rarity across the state. This is something that is not the norm. Mm-hmm. I'd like to think it's the norm for Huntingburg, because that's what we did through the Stellar process. We had voices coming forward saying this is what we want to do, and this is just as important as our Stellar Communities project, because we need to have a plan after 2018 to know where we're going next. So this was the very, very first session about that. There'll be many more to come. The group that's doing the study, again, they'll give their initial report from what we heard 2 weeks ago at our council meeting on February 28th. But there were some themes that everybody kind of agreed on. There were some issues that were brought out that were just great things to think about. Mm-hmm. So the process has started, and what I would say is that if anybody else, if you weren't able to attend that meeting and want to comment on what do you think we need to do on 231, we're welcome to receive your comments at any time. You can contact the city office. You can talk to our Director of Community Development, Rachel Steckler. She'd be glad to get your input as well. But I'm very encouraged about this. I think that there are things that we all want to do. We've got to have a plan in place. We've got to have a process by which we can identify what are the priorities and begin looking at the proper funding opportunities for that as well. So what this whole study will do, will hopefully come back within the next 6 to 8 months and have those in place. Here are the priority projects. Mm-hmm. Here's some ballpark figures on what we think those might cost, and here are the ways that we could possibly fund those. So that was a very, very rewarding and exciting meeting. Mm-hmm. Appreciate everybody who came out, and that's exciting to hear how important those issues are to our community. And one of the things that was very evident was this is the main corridor in town. We have to make it more attractive. We have to make it more pedestrian friendly. Mm-hmm. That's a push that we have throughout the community, but being more pedestrian friendly, being more attractive aesthetically, and what are the options that we can look at to do that. So it's moving at a slow pace, but we got a good start.
What will they be studying? Are they going to study traffic flow in this area?
They'll be studying basically, traffic flow. We have that data from some of the reports from the Department of Transportation. But more, I guess the more focus is what are the things along that corridor that we could do to make it more attractive to retail and commercial businesses, perhaps. What are the things, like I said, the pedestrian traffic that's in there? There's some gaps between, on 231 that there's either a lack of sidewalk or there's not a bike trail. What are the things that we could do to enhance that corridor from that point of view? And we have some great corporate partners that are along that who are just as concerned as we are, and working with those partners to say, what are the ways that we can help you enhance your visibility on that corridor, maybe making it more attractive to the passer through that doesn't see that every day.
Right.
Just so there's a lot of issues out there, and we've got to start that to bring those issues down to a focus on and do the things that we can really achieve maybe in the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay, that's great.
Right.
All right, so let's talk about another project you guys have going on. You guys are busy over here.
We got a few things going on.
So let's hear about the Heritage Trail project.
Okay, we had another great meeting.
Yes.
And that was just a week ago, or last Wednesday night. We had an update for the business owners, the property owners along our 4th Street area, which is the 4th Street Heritage Trail, is at a 30% design right now. Our firms that are working on that, VS Engineering and Taylor Seifker Williams Design Group, came to town last Wednesday and really opened up the plans to show everyone who showed up where we are at 30% design. I got to emphasize, there's still things that are going to be figured out in the next couple of months. But the concept of the plaza type, the flexible street, the curbless transition that we've talked about over the last 2 years, we got a good sense from our business community that they are on board with that type of concept. Now the questions are becoming, how do we do it? And those are very important questions that we need to answer. So we got a lot of feedback from those who were in attendance and said, we understand the concept. How is this going to work? And that's something that we want to communicate very well going out. We need to have a very good plan for when that construction season happens. We're looking at construction in 2018. We need to have a plan that communicates not only to our business concerns in the 4th Street, but those who shop and come to the downtown, ways to identify the fact that we are open for business, that even though there may be construction going on, we're going to try to make it clear that you can still shop in downtown Huntingburg during this season and look forward to what it will become when we're all complete. So I think communication is the key in that. Our design team came away with some very good ideas, some very good input from all those who attended. Again, we had a council room was full, on a Wednesday night. So again, people turning up to give us their input is very, very important. I think that we've done a fairly good job of communicating with that group to this point, and that's why that meeting on Wednesday night was so important. And there'll be at least 2 or 3 more meetings like that before we get to the final process. One thing that is happening on a regular basis, the design team is having regular hours at Current Blend. They're on 4th Street. We'll be putting out a complete schedule on that going forward, but they've been there twice a month, available for comment, question at any time. That schedule is going to step up as we get closer to the construction time, and we'll be putting out information on that. And that's an open time when anybody with questions or comments about the Heritage Trail and what's happening on 4th Street, they can go directly to the design team and hopefully get their questions answered. So again, the timeline on that is we would hope to have the final design by the end of the year and go out to bid on that with a construction season to start early in 2018, and a firm deadline of having the street available for the Christmas stroll in 2018. That's a non-negotiable. We will have the street open and available for the traditional Christmas stroll in November. So that's a date that we're holding firm with, and moving backwards from, to make sure that we get the process done and we can have a great Christmas stroll celebration in 2018 on the new Heritage Trail on 4th Street.
Okay, all right, that's great. I was going to ask, where can people go to find the information for the hours for the design?
We will be putting that up on our website coming up soon. We're working on the new schedule, and as soon as we have that, it'll be on the website, and we'll also put that out to the local media and hopefully have some flyers down through town that indicate that. So as soon as we have the new schedule, we'll be getting that out. Okay,
great. Well, thanks for meeting with us.
Can I have one more comment? I just wanted to say that I was honored last Friday to be invited by Mayor Seitz to be part of the process at Jasper and the celebration of the River Center. And we have a lot of exciting things going on in Huntingburg. There's an equal amount of excitement in our neighbor in Jasper. And I just wanted to congratulate the city of Jasper and Boxer Girl and all the folks that are involved in that process. What's good for Du Bois County is good for Du Bois County, and that'll be a great project, and just wanted to congratulate the mayor and his team on that success, and we look forward to exciting times in both of our communities in the next few years.
That's great, and you dressed well for that day.
You
looked so good.
I had a nice coat and tie, and I didn't know the mayor was going to wear a sweater. If I could have done that, but we didn't check with each other that day.
That's all right.
But it was a great event, and I just wanted to make sure that the folks in Jasper know that Huntingburg is excited about that as well, and I know we've had a lot of constant confirmation and conversations about our projects, and so we appreciate their support on what we're doing as well.
And Boxer Girl does some work here.
Boxer Girl has been. We actually, I think the conversation with Boxer Girl started in the city of Huntingburg with our Hunters Crossing as part of our stellar designation. The workforce housing project is under the direction of Boxer Girl, so we have a great relationship with Jane and her team, and that relationship has grown throughout the county, and they are a great advocate for Du Bois County. They are a team that really believes in what we're doing in our county, and believe there are some unique opportunities to help all our systems grow here. So it's great to have them as a partner, and looking forward to more things in the future.
Well, good. Thank you for being with us today. This has been Monday with the Mayor here in Huntingburg. I'm Joy Holt.